for having me.
I thought we could start today by you telling us about a little bit about yourself and where you grew up.
All right. Oh, God, where do I start? So I grew up in Fenchurch Gully with my family there. We did bounce around a little bit. We moved to Queensland for a while, which was exciting. So we spent a couple of years there, but then we just missed family too much, so came on back home. But, bounced around, but Fenchurch Gully's the home.
Okay, and where'd you go to school?
Fairhills High School.
Okay.
Yeah, so local.
What was your first job?
It was Coles, Knox City. I actually worked there for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
I was there for a while. So as soon as I could get a job, 9 months, straight into it. It did help that Mum probably was the office manager.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to experience a lot of different roles there. But my favourite was probably I was in charge of the health and beauty aisle. So I did become a little bit of a inspector and checked on everyone to make sure they didn't steal stuff, like the spray tans. So that was fun.
How good. And when did real estate come on the scene? Tell me about your introduction to real estate.
So when I left school, I thought I wanted to get into event management. I thought that would be a really fun space. So I did my diploma. And it turns out it's a very hard industry to get into. And one of my close friends actually worked in real estate as a sales agent. And she said, we're looking for a receptionist. I was like, oh, okay, I'll give that a go. And then obviously I'll keep an eye out for another opportunity in event management. Started on reception there, and I just grew to love it. It was a small agency. And then I was there for 6.5 years.
Wow.
And, so I didn't really leave. But I got the opportunity I went from reception, I did leasing, I did BDM, I did property management. So I really got to experience the whole of the business. And because it was quite small, the manager had a lot of trust in me to make decisions and things like that. So it was a really good experience, and it was a really good team to work for. But obviously it was time to move on, and I needed to find another growth path.
Yeah. What was the size of the office?
So we had probably only about 300 rental properties,
Mm-hmm.
and there was only about 10 employees. So very small, but for first job, it was absolutely perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is this where Ray White comes onto the scene?
Absolutely.
Tell me about that.
So when I left, the only reason I was going to leave that job, I loved everyone there, was purely for growth. I always like to want more, and I was just there was only at the time 2 property managers, myself and someone else. So it wasn't really anywhere to grow, to really push myself. So an ad came up. My partner actually saw an ad for Ray White Cranbourne. And at the time I was absolutely, I've got to apply for that. And I remember interviewing, and I was crapping my pants. So I was like, oh, this is such a big office. It's so different.
Yeah.
I actually remember being in there with Kyle, and I was saying Pim a lot, Pim this, Pim that. And he was like, oh yeah. And then it wasn't until later he was like, what were you talking about? What is Pim? I'm like, oh, property investment manager. He's like, oh, we just call it PM. And it was the funniest thing. I was like, oh, maybe I didn't get the job. So I was saying Pim too much.
He doesn't understand what you're talking about.
But in the interview, I just really highlighted, I want structure. I want somewhere that I can grow, and move on up, hopefully become a team leader, and then just senior property manager, and just continue to grow. And that's definitely when I sat down in that interview and saw the structure of the office, and just the opportunities, not just in property management. I was this is where I need to be. So I was very fortunate that I think it was only 24 hours later I got the call, and they're like, oh, we'd really like to hire you. And I was super excited.
Amazing.
Super excited.
So you've been with Ray White for 6 years now?
Yeah, 6.5. Yeah.
And you've had an incredible amount of growth over that time. Do you want to tell me about your journey at Ray White and what that's looked like?
Yeah, and it has been quite the journey.
Yeah.
Such a weird word to say. Obviously came over. So at that time I only had about 6.5 years experience as property manager. It was property manager for probably a year and a half maybe. And then the opportunity came up to put my hand forward for a team leader position, which I had to apply and present, go through all the stages for that. So I was very fortunate enough to become a team leader. That was such a crazy experience because it was right before COVID. So trying to obviously learn how to be a team leader, move into that leadership space, as well as have a team under you and navigate COVID, like that was massive. So yeah, that was an experience, and I learned so much from that. And then the other team leader that I was with, they decided to leave. So then, the team grew again. And I got an opportunity to become the training and development manager. So any new staff that came in, we had a few trainees come in, like from scratch, no property management experience, and just teaching them like the Ray White way, which was probably one of the most rewarding things I've done here. Like that was so fun to see, and we still have one of those employees here today, and that was 4 years ago maybe now. And just the growth, seeing the growth in her is just, it's very exciting. So that was definitely one of the most rewarding jobs, as well as working alongside Bree, like the department manager, and really learning off her those leadership qualities and like what to do in like certain situations. So yeah, definitely that was my favourite experience. For sure.
Love that. And speaking of our department manager, she is soon going to be going on maternity leave, and you're going to be stepping into this role.
Yes.
So obviously a natural progression for you who already has experience in leadership. What are you looking forward to over the next 12 months?
I'm so excited. I'm obviously so happy for Bree. It's so exciting for her, and what she has taught me, I think is really going to set me up, hopefully to seamlessly take over from her. I want to continue all of the hard work that she has brought to the team. She's worked so hard. So I guess my goal is to continue the growth of the team, motivation, just being there for them, but also bringing in myself, my new ideas, hopefully a bit of fun, just a little bit of me. We're obviously very two different personalities, and this has been a goal of mine, for a very long time. I've been in the industry nearly 13 years, so it's always been up there. I never thought that I would get an opportunity, so I'm just super excited and super grateful, and I just hope that I can bring a little bit of my experience, especially working in different departments, going away on maternity leave and then coming back with a different mindset. So I'm hopefully going to bring all of that to the role, and hopefully make Brie proud.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
And she'll come back and hopefully be nice and seamless for her, but I'm really excited.
Do you have any strategies or goals for the team?
Obviously we still want to be number one in the area. I want to keep that title. But I just really want to work with everyone, like really individually, work with them and their goals. I'm a real big goal setter, so I just want to work with them, sit down, might be big, might be small, and get the best out of them. I think just working a little bit more closely. I think if I do that individually, then as a team, we can all come together and everyone can work to their strengths. So that's probably my goal, is just to really get to know everyone, get to know how they work, and then bring some of that training aspect that, I feel that I'm good at, bring that to the table and help them grow. And, everyone can get better. So as I do, as they do, then the whole team does. So that's probably the goal.
Yeah, good. Tell me about our Property Management Academy. This has been a little baby of yours. Tell me about that.
Yes, this is really exciting. So, a group of us decided, let's do something different. Within the real estate industry, there is a lot of, assistant property managers and junior property managers, but there's never really been a platform where you learn everything. So you might come in as an assistant and you learn 2 or 3 tasks, and that's all you do. But the academy is designed to come in, you've got no experience, and learn, again, the Ray White way, but also from the bottom to the top. So you're learning from condition reports to vacates to VCAT, to handling complaints, like maintenance, arrears. You are learning everything on a portfolio with a senior property manager overseeing, and just learning hands-on. It's, I think, one thing coming in the industry, I would have loved something like that. I kind of had to work it out for myself. and didn't have that big support network. But this is like, I think, such an exciting thing in our property management space. So much support. We have Catherine, who's like the leader, senior property manager, and then obviously we'll have Bree, and then eventually myself. So there'll be lots of support. And we have like Carl and Mark, we have head office. So to learn in such a big office with that much level of support, like, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
And hopefully, well, not hopefully, it will happen is, you know, if a property manager decides to leave or our portfolio grows as it continues to do so, we're going to have more properties that is going to need a property manager, which that's when the academy will come in, and hopefully they're ready to go and take over a portfolio and own it. And yeah, so it's really exciting.
So is the idea that the academy will run continuously?
Yeah. So it's not just a one-time thing. We've got 6 people at the moment. So, you know, everyone's sort of at different stages of where they're at learning-wise. So, it's designed to, if someone in 5 months' time is ready and they take on a portfolio, we've got another spot that we can fill. So there's just forever room to bring new people on board, which I think is so exciting. I think we had over 300 applications for the position, which is wild. So the interest is there, and it's really exciting that we can offer that as an agency where there's not a lot out there for new starters.
Yeah. What did that recruitment process look like? So you post an ad on Seek and you get over 300 applicants.
Yep.
That's so overwhelming. Tell me about how you dwindled that down to 6 or 4, essentially.
We did... we didn't call everyone because that would have taken me a lifetime, but we did invite everyone to what we call like an open night, like a careers night. It was a little bit of a /group interview. So we invited everyone, RSVP'd. We did hold 2 sessions because of the interest was so high. We got groups in. We did a little bit about like who we are, what we can offer, what the academy is, what it's going to look like for 12 months. And then we did just some fun activities just to see, you know, the engagement, how people were talking, collaborating as a team, but also getting them to ask questions by themselves as well. So to see how they can like handle conversations and little brain teasers and things like that. So it was actually a really fun night. From that we've been able to secure, our junior our property managers from there. So it was really exciting. It was something different that we've done, but it's worked really well. I think we'll continue to do things like that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So if I'm a property manager and I'm out there and I'm looking for a role, why would I want to come to Ray White?
I mean, if you're looking for a place, for starters, when you're new to the industry, well, not just new, just in general, I think the biggest thing is support. Anywhere in a workplace, you want support. And I definitely think that's one of the better things that we have here. Again, we have support, whether it be the person sitting next to you, whether it be the department manager, whether it be the senior property manager, the CEO, the managing director, head office, HR. Like, we have so many levels of support, which makes your day-to-day easier. But in saying that, we have support. So we have a separate leasing department that will handle all of your lease inquiries, get your property rented. So that takes that stress off the property manager and they can focus on the client. We have the BDMs who will list the properties and will nurture the clients and let them know what they need to do to get the best price for their property. And again, work with the property manager. So we've got our separate departments, but we all work together to help make the job easier and hopefully stress-free. But if you add all those, layers on, it's definitely such a fun environment to be in. But I mean, we haven't even spoken about the fun stuff. We do lots of
Tell me about the fun stuff.
Yeah. Work is fun, but also the lunches are fun too. Like morning teas, and like if we hit certain KPIs or milestones, little rewards. We've got something coming up where all the property managers are doing like an amazing race. So
amazing.
Just lots of like little things like that. We've done like lawn bowls nights, which is always a hit. So as much as it's like work, but it's so much fun too. And everyone just gets along. It's so fun. There's lots of banter. we've just started a netball team, and that's across the whole office. You know, we've got operations, we've got marketing, we've got sales, we've got property managers. So that's also so exciting as well. So it's good to see everyone come together. I personally haven't been in like a space like that where, you know, everyone knows what they need to do to achieve the goal and work hard, but also everyone knows how to have fun too.
Yeah.
And everyone just gets along.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
The vibes are definitely high in the department at the moment.
Yeah.
What about investors and renters? If I am an investor, why would I bring my investment to Ray White?
Look, we touched on it a little bit. I think having the separate departments is a benefit to an investor. Having someone solely work on the leasing of your property, you know, processing applications. As you know, some properties you can have 30, 40 people come through. So you're getting a high volume of applications. So some agencies will have, you know, a property manager that will do A to Z. Where we have separate departments who really focus on getting that good quality renter, making sure all the checks are done, making sure all the documents are signed, you know, rent, bond, everything is done, making sure that a tip-top condition report is done before a renter moves in. So we have those separate departments that really zones in on their craft and leaves hopefully no errors for an investor. And then once it gets into the property manager's hands, you know, their main goal is to service that client, is to look after that client, and having some of those like smaller tasks, like me, having some of those like smaller tasks being taken off you, allows them to communicate with the client a lot faster as well. So I think that's like a massive benefit for an investor to bring over.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to finish on motherhood and being a working mother.
Yes.
Now you've got a little one at home who's 1.
Yes.
You're also stepping into a department manager position. Tell me about your return from maternity leave, motherhood, and the balancing act of being a working mother.
It's definitely not easy, but I love work, and I know sometimes that's my mother's group and things like that. It's a controversial topic, but like I love working.
Yeah.
But I love my little boy so much. Like I would do anything for him. Like I'm taking on this role like for him. I know that sounds a bit silly because, you know, I'm going to see him a little bit less, but like I'm doing this to be a better person to me, to be a better person to him. So like I'm so excited to take on the role, but it is so challenging, but I'm so lucky that I have like my partner Michael, like for support with pickups and drop-offs and just supporting me going back 5 days a week, like because it is massive, and I will get to see him a little less, but like I know that my time will be with him will be like of like super quality, and I will be super present. But coming back from leave, it's definitely been tough. Especially I decided that would be a good decision to come into the operations department. So another position, I thought, you know, why not spice things up? Because as I do, which operations, it's just, wow, what a world.
Yeah.
But that's been probably a little bit more calm space to start back from maternity leave. So I think it's actually been quite a good adjustment back in, and now I'm obviously department manager space is going to be a lot.
The calm before the storm.
The calm before the storm. But my God, I just think that as women, like we can work full time, like we can be a boss woman if we want to. I know it's super scary. Again, I'm so fortunate that I have a partner that and like my family, like especially my sister, like helping me when needed. But I love to work, and like I want to show Jack that, like, you know, if you want something, if you have a goal, like just, you know, keep working hard and go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard. It's really hard, but like, yeah, again, like I said, support is everything, and I couldn't be doing this role without my support system.
Yeah. I think it also helps that there's a number of the leaders in this business are also working mothers.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're in the trenches together.
Yeah. And I was thinking the other day, like, we're in the managers meeting and just looking around the room, and like there was 70% of women as leaders, and it is so exciting again to work like for Ray White, that they really like shine a light on that. Like, it's so exciting. Like, I get to sit in a room with like amazing women every single day, listen to their ideas, watch them just be a boss in their craft and in their teams. Like, so it's so exciting. But yeah, obviously my external support, but internal support here as well. You know, as we all know, when you get that call from childcare and you think, oh boy, what's happened now?
What's happened now? Yeah.
That was me 50 minutes ago. But yeah, just having that internal support as well.
Yeah.
They've been amazing. Yeah, and have made coming back to work a lot easier, but also helping me, you know, push on those goals. Like, I was hesitant at first, like, oh, department manager, like, you know, that's time away from Jack. Like, and they're like, but you can do this. Like, this is what you've wanted to do. I'm like, you're so right.
Yeah.
Like, I have wanted to do this, and like, I'm terrified, but like, now's the time. Like, while I have good support here and good support at home, like, now's the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Been a blast.
Good.